Hey, everybody, and welcome to Superhero Speak. I'm your host, Dave.
And I'm your other host, Don.
And my camera's a little crooked. I just noticed that. All right.
Oh, a little crooked. Just like our
Just like
government.
me.
Yay.
Look how much
Aha.
look how much brighter Spidey is. I put new batteries in them. So
There you go. All right. There we go. Shine
um
bright like a diamond.
exactly. That's what we need in this world right now. Um all right. What do we got on tap for tonight here, Donnie? We have of course, we're talking about the announcement, the big announcement, the Spaceballs 2. But of course, we also have news about Gal Gadot. Will she be the Wonder Woman in the DCU? Um, and what else do I have? You know what? I don't have the email up. Here we go. And Hugh Jackman rumors, and and Jessica Jones was. We got some news about Jessica Jones and Daredevil season 2, and that's what we got. So does that sound like you stuff we want to talk about?
I got a couple reactions, sure.
Yes, we are, Thrawn. Uh,
Ron asking if we are surrounded. Are we surrounded by assholes? And
yeah, very much so.
probably
Not just a reference to the movie. All that being said, though, how are you tonight, my fellow asshole?
Hey, it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to you, Dave, and all the other fathers out there. So on to the next holiday, which is Juneteenth, aka our birthdays.
Yes.
So that's exciting. And but other than that, just I'm still got Magic Final Fantasy Magic cards everywhere. Still got coming more in the mail, but we actually got to play this weekend, which I mainly got my ass beat. I had a couple good victories, but still always fun. And went to see a band yesterday. It was a grunge cover band.
Oh, okay.
And so I was an hour away. I was drunk and an hour away from my house, like at 15 after midnight last night. When we got home, I got to bed a little after 1 a.m. And I had to actually work this morning. We had a festival in town, and there was a breakfast for that festival. So I had to be at work at 7 a.m., even though I just got into bed at like 1:15. And honestly, on this Father's Day, I've been doing Father's Day shit, man. I don't know. I changed the cabin filter in my truck there, and just did some other odds and ends that had to be done because it was like, hey, it's a day off. You got to get shit done. So it was good. Good though. It was all good all around. Dave, what about you? How's your Father's Day and 3 or 4 days since we last met?
Yeah, not too eventful. I spent the night at the girlfriend's and got up. She made me breakfast.
Nice. Yeah,
made me some eggs and some scrapple and some bacon. Big breakfast.
What's scrapple?
You guys have something similar. Basically, it's the leftover bits from the pig, and it's mixed with like cornmeal. You guys have something similar, but I think it's oatmeal, and it's beef, not pork.
And, okay, no, you like, lost me.
I can't remember.
Unless it's corned beef hash, but that doesn't sound like.
And then awesome. And then it comes in like a block, and you usually slice it and you fry it.
Oh, head cheese?
Maybe.
That may be it.
Yeah, and it's it's tasty. I think every culture has some version of this. This actually comes from the Pennsylvania Dutch, known as the Amish. They're the ones that like originated it, and it's it's definitely a regional thing, and yeah, so she made some of that, and yeah. Oh, but actually, last night she made birria tacos, and they were delicious. If you've ever if you've never had birria before, you should have it. It's really good. If you've got a good Mexican restaurant around you, I don't know how many they have in Ohio. Uh,
Dude, I live in a town of 10,000, which is rather small, and we have 2. So it's it's
yeah,
a thing.
there is a Mexican restaurant not far from me that we go to every once in a while. And, they make it. It's really good. And then so she started making it, and basically you take steak and you slow cook it and all the spices and everything until it falls apart, and then you put that in a taco, and it's just wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, I do like steak, burritos, and tacos.
So there you go. So
Can't go wrong.
and yeah, and then I came home and I had a surprise from my daughter who ordered cookies for me on Amazon. They got delivered today. My son just got me a card, and we had meatballs for dinner. They were good. So
Nice.
yeah, just a nice quiet night at home. I got myself though a early birthday present, and I got myself a nice new overnight bag. That's uh, I specifically bought it for New York.
All right.
So I'm anticipating that we will get approved again this year, and it'll be fun. So yeah, and oh, I wait. You know what the other exciting thing that happened that is beyond annoying is I finally got my refund check from the government, which is part of the reason I bought the bag, because I got the money.
Yeah.
I forgot. I never mentioned on the show. It was supposed to be an electronic deposit, and I got a message saying there was an issue with the deposit. And I checked my refund. The numbers were correct for my bank on there, so I don't know what happened there. So then they said they were going to mail the check out, and it was sent to my old address, which has I have forwarding set up. I do get mail here that goes to the old address, and for some reason they said it was undeliverable. The post office said it was undeliverable and sent it back.
You're the post office. How is something undeliverable?
I don't know. Like everything
Neither
else,
rain, sleet, or snow, right?
But again, everything else that comes to me, it has gotten forwarded. I don't know what happened there.
There's a mix-up at the United States Post Office.
It's just the federal government. What are you gonna do? So long story short, I had to call them, get the address corrected, and it finally got delivered this week. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this money and I'm gonna take a small little bit of this money, and I'm gonna buy myself a nice new overnight bag, because that shows how grown up I am now. That was the thing. I was like, oh, I want to splurge.
Yeah, I know.
On a nice new bag for going to New York. What's Thrawn say here? Just put together my new Blackstone griddle, and the birria right around the corner here in California. It's a Mexican French dip. Yeah, that's the other thing too, because it's the juices that you cook it and you serve it with that, and you dip your taco in it while you're eating. It's so good. It's so good.
I want a Blackstone griddle.
Oh, you should, your birthday's coming up. You should have dropped some hints to the wife.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, my wife, she's a licensed massage, board certified licensed massage therapist. Mm-hmm. And so she gets tips, and she's been putting them away to help me for Comic-Con, actually. But my son, I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail here, but got into some legal trouble. So I gotta go take $1,000 retainer over to a lawyer, because like I said, I won't go into too much detail, but it involves like this troublesome 9-year-old kid has been kind of fucking with him and slapped him, and then my son was just like pap, slapped him back, and the kid's face was red, and he went home and cried. It's a whole dumb thing, and I'm like, fuck that. So I'm getting him a lawyer, because that's how you get you don't have a lawyer, you're gonna get screwed.
Is that really the world we live in now, where 9-year-olds?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Unless I just want to let him go get charged with, fucking some sort of M1 assault shit, which I'm not. Fuck that.
Thrawn says Costco $3.49, and you can return it if it goes bad. So keep that in mind. That's not bad. $3.49. So, all right. Well, that is how we're doing. So let's take a moment and let us
recover from our legal fee shock.
I forgot to turn my speakers on my computer off. Anyway, because I have the show. They were up a little bit. I have the show streaming on another screen so that I can make sure there's no issues with what's going out. Anyway, that's a little behind the scenes that no one cares about. That all being said, yes, let's go check in with our good friend Darth Don, who will tell you how you can find more superhero speak.
Darth Don here. You must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gun dog named Brie Larson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
Thrawn says, I find your lack of Brie Larson disturbing.
I don't know why it's funny, but it is.
The jokes just keep writing themselves here. All right. Okay, so this first bit of news I'm excited for. I have a feeling that you don't really care too much about the story because you didn't care too much for Daredevil Born Again season 1. You said parts of it were boring.
Said you I called it Daredevil Bored Again.
And you said you also didn't really watch the other Netflix shows. But Krysten Ritter, who is known for playing Jessica Jones on the Netflix series, has been spotted on set over there for Daredevil season 2. So there's some pictures. We got her and Charlie Cox walking around on set, all smiles. And
black shoes, yellow socks. Way to go.
Oh, wait, Charlie. Well, what do you want? Daredevil's blind. And we've got some pictures of Krysten Ritter in character of Jessica Jones with the classic leather jacket, blue jeans, and combat boots. There's something about a woman who dresses like that does it for me. So,
you like the trench coat look on? Okay.
Oh yeah, come on, the tough girl, Oh, interesting. Skeleton Crew beat Daredevil in the final ratings. Oh, I could see that.
Surprising.
But again, Daredevil's got a narrower appeal. Skeleton Crew is Star Wars, and it's got an appeal to kids. So so I'm excited. Like this, I really enjoyed season 1, and the fact that like they said they were going to bring in the other characters. Now that we can see it's confirmed, at least Jessica Jones is back and she's filming. It's a slow buildup of bringing back in all those characters, and I'm excited. It makes me more excited for season 2. Does it change your opinion at all about, what you want to see, if you care at all? What do you think?
I mean, you know, the list of characters that you could put in a Daredevil show that would make me interested more, they just would never appear on the list. I don't have any nostalgia for the Netflix stuff. Outside of, I did watch the Daredevil, which I think is good, but no, I don't. This adds zero excitement for me because I lack that nostalgia. There's a lot more characters that I would rather see make cameos or swing in or whatever the hell, other than Jessica Jones. She just doesn't interest me at all. So, and it seems like more boring stuff out of the Hell's Kitchen universe, I guess we're going to call it.
You're terrible.
I mean, but I know it crosses over the MCU. He's bang She-Hulk and all that. We get it. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I mean, I can see them incorporate, like, obviously Daredevil. Well, Matt Murdock was in Spider-Man. I could see them doing more crossover stuff down the road as well. So, and Jessica Jones is a very powerful character. It makes sense to bring her in if they're going up against an army. They need someone strong. And again, she just dresses like the kind of girls I dated in high school.
You're right on. I know. I get you. Hey, I'm not bagging on your. I get it. I get it. If they somehow got someone that looked like Elizabeth Hurley from the late '90s, I'd be about it as well.
There you go.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, because I don't know much about the character, but her only power, right, is like super strength and like some snarkiness. Like, she's not invulnerable, right? Like, you could shoot her, stab her. I understand her husband or whatever, Luke Cage, he's the impenetrable one, so I kind of get the duo there. But right? Am I right? She's just super strong.
Yeah, super strong, and she can. Not necessarily, like, they depict it as like flight in the comics a lot of times, but it's not flight. It's more like long jumping.
I'm gonna say early Superman, leap tall buildings.
Leaping tall buildings. Yeah. So, but I mean, that just comes from her strength. So, yeah.
Okay.
And she's a detective, so she's got that going for her. So it's
that
Superman strength.
That and then this never gels with me, the whole detective thing. I don't know. I can't get that. And I know it drives some people nuts, I'm sure. Like, oh, this is so cool, the detective stuff. And I could totally see why. It just completely misses me. So there's just not any aspect of this character that I care about.
And you wrap that up in tight jeans and a leather jacket. I mean, come on. You worry me there, Don. You worry me there a little bit.
Listen, if she, puts on about 40, maybe we can start to talk. I have specific tastes. Okay, and that ain't.
All right, moving on. We're going to stick to the MCU for a moment. Hugh Jackman recently put a post on social media with him exercising, working out in the gym with a trainer, building up muscle again, and basically shouted out his trainer in the post that was like, oh, she's so great and all this stuff, which led his fans to go, but why are you working out? Like, are you working out for a role? And of course, that led to everyone going, is he possibly in Doomsday? So, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, it's rumored that he's going to be in either Doomsday or Secret Wars. So, but I mean, it'd be kind of foolish to be getting in shape now for Secret Wars. So,
right. I think it's plausible that he could still be in Secret Wars, Doomsday. I think that Deadpool and Wolverine confirmed that he really does still do a good Wolverine, even when you put him in the yellow suit and the cowl in certain scenes. He still did a great fucking Wolverine. I mean, not since his first casting, when people like me, fanboys, who cried about the 6 foot, aspect of the character. But since then, I've never had a complaint, and no one else has had a complaint. And if they did, they are not legitimate about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. So, and again, in a day and age where we're literally bringing people back from the dead, de-aging, why not? With that said, though, the people that are speculating this, and I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but it is obvious that they did not lift weights themselves. This is why I'm saying that. I'm not basing that off anyone's looks.
Okay.
But I watched a video of Hugh Jackman. He had 3 plates on each side. I know that each one of those plates is 45 pounds. So if he has 6 of them, that means he has 270 pounds on a deadlift apparatus.
Okay.
Maybe you add 30 pounds there, so maybe that's 300. Sounds like a lot. 17, 18-year-old Don used to deadlift 650 pounds. It's really not that major. So it's much that part of it, I think, is much to do about nothing. But I still think it's plausible that he shows up, and it would completely make sense.
Yeah, I also think people need to remember that Hugh Jackman is in his 50s, 56. So
it's like it's 50s is the new 30s, at least the new 40s, maybe.
But
30s.
I mean, you get to a certain age and you start to lose muscle mass. So doing 600 pounds is
right.
Difficult.
Deadlifting 300
and he's not,
pounds.
He's also not Arnold. He's not trying to look like Arnold either. He's more trying to be
or the Rock,
cut.
Yeah,
he's trying to more trying to be cut and have those popping veins. He talks about that in a lot of interviews. So yeah, I do think it's strange because he hasn't addressed the rumors either. It was kind of just like, oh, you're working out and posting it, are you teasing us that you're going to be in the movie? I think I think it's foolish to not have him in the movie,
Sure. Right.
At this point, it's what the fans want. If Deadpool Wolverine proved anything, that's what the fans want right now,
Right.
You're going to give this a convoluted Doctor Doom /
exactly,
Tony Stark story here. So yeah,
exactly. But when they released, or right before, or even maybe during, or I don't know, somewhere right around the time that they did that back of the chair release thing, they also did a video of Hugh Jackman just doing Wolverine comic book poses, like the one.
Yes.
So I've always assumed from them he's going to be there.
It was this weird long cut video of him standing there with it was strange.
He did the pose from, I know you can't see it because but you have the whole,
the Wolverine miniseries. So
I think they even showed it in Times Square or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I think I read that. Yeah.
Yeah. So why did they do that? It was well after the movie too. So it was he wasn't promoting Deadpool Wolverine. He just did this weird video. Yeah. I think I think this is going to be the worst kept secret in Marvel history. He's going to show up and it's we knew. So we'll see.
The Deadpool movie franchise is huge. It's so popular. Today, again, like I said, we had a local weekend festival, and there was a guy cosplaying as Deadpool for some reason. I mean, not some bullshit costume you bought at Walmart either. An awesome Deadpool cosplay, just walking around during the festival. Crazy.
Yeah,
it ain't going nowhere.
No, not anytime soon. All right. There are actually, I didn't include the one, but we're only 25 minutes in, so I'm going to talk about both these stories real quick. The first one being, of course, there's been a lot of buzz online about wanting Robert Pattinson's Batman to be part of the DCU, and there was a lot of posts on some social media site. I think it was Threads, talking about this, like a whole big conversation, and then James Gunn basically chimed in and said, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but basically like saying a lot. He doesn't believe it's a lot of fans. It's like a few, and just because they want it doesn't mean they're going to get it, I think was his response. I kind of agree with that because, to be honest with you, the Robert Pattinson Batman movies is setting up their own world, and to all of a sudden now throw it into this DCU that Gunn's creating, where there have been established superheroes, right? We know Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, and Green Lantern are at least in this universe, and now here's Superman, and Gotham was destroyed, and none of them showed up to help. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, yeah,
I'm with you.
When they all of a sudden want to like stitch things in like that, and it's like, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't work. It would make more sense to bring Affleck back. I mean, they won't, but than to try to stitch Pattinson in. So yeah, I mean, what do you think? What would you want to see out of a new Batman? Like, they've gone, obviously, Robert Pattinson's the young starting out Batman. We even got that with Batman Begins, where Affleck was playing the seasoned, he's been around for a long time doing this Batman. Like, do you want to see his origin, or do you want, like, where do you think? I know you're not a DC guy, but thinking who Batman is, what makes the most sense?
I think anytime you reboot Batman, you have to at least have the 10-15 minute montage of his, or whatever you want to call it, of his parents dying.
Yeah.
And and you can even maybe set up a little mystery whodunit. Maybe don't even resolve that in the first movie. Don't make it apparent, because again, like hopefully they're going to do with the Superman movie, don't start off with franchise thinking. Start off with, let's make this good entry. But anyway, so I don't know, because to me, Batman and Joker, if I'm in a Batman universe, I'm just sitting here till the Joker shows up.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm alone there. I think that's the ultimate reveal and conflict in the mythos of Batman. I really don't like the whole Batman Justice League thing, and I know that's probably pretty blasphemous, but to me, outside of, okay, he's the smartest guy in a room, and that's what Batman brings to the Justice League. Whereas a more grounded, by itself Batman, that's where you can get into the detective mystery stuff. Because otherwise, he could just go, hey, Justice League, help me figure this out. Use your powers, and
right.
So see, they're excited about it. So yeah, no, I like the more grounded Batman versus the city of Gotham. But again, I'm always sitting there waiting for the Joker. Waiting for the Joker to steal the scene, and that's the fun part for me, I guess. I guess I guess I'm talking myself into it, Dave. I guess if they do, like, if they do this Batman universe and they build up the Joker for at least 2, maybe 3 movies,
yeah,
sprinkle it in, And then you know what? Yeah. Give me 2, 3 not Joker villains, but have the Joker sprinkled in there throughout the whole thing. And then let's have that big clash between the Bat and the Joker. So, but they did it so well on Dark Knight. I want, it's hard to say, what do you want from Batman? Dark Knight? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, my whole thing is making Batman work in the universe where, like, essentially all of the characters are like gods except for Batman. He's the guy in a bat suit. I kind of feel like that's why with the DCEU, that's why they went with an older quote unquote wise Batman, to be like, why would anyone listen to him as a strategist? He's got to be established, but they're giving us a young Superman, basically. I mean, Corn Sweat's not that young, but they're making him feel like he's young, in this. So I don't know. I kind of want to. I like a not starting out, and I don't want to see the origin again. I think we're all tired of the origin. Maybe a 30-second cameo. Bang, bang. Oh, I'm sad. Okay, move on. No. Bang, bang. Oh, revenge.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. That's all we need.
It's funny, though. It's just like in The Crow, call, bang, bang. Oh, fuck, I'm dead.
True. Very true. So yeah, and then I brought this story up for a reason. So the other person that's been rumored to be returning for a long time is Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, even though I believe both Patty Jenkins definitely came out and said she's not involved at all. Like, her version of Wonder Woman is done. They haven't talked to her, blah, blah. I know they said that Gal Gadot, when this was all starting, they came in and had a meeting with her, and then she's never really said anything since then. So there's all these rumors going around that they're going to bring her in as Wonder Woman. I don't think it's true, but so there's this podcast called the Hot Mic Podcast, right? And it's there's two hosts on it. They're both basically entertainment reporters. They don't work for DC. They don't have an inside track. And they were talking about this on one of their recent episodes. And one of the hosts basically said, no, this is absolutely not happening. And like, there's all these other sites that now then take that as gospel. And the only thing that we have from Gunn is that Wonder Woman is coming, and they're currently working on a script for Wonder Woman in the DCU, but no word about who's playing her, how she's going to fit in, any of that stuff. So it's like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, how are these guys getting treated like, oh, they really know what they're talking about? Like, how do we get to that level of, we say, damn it, Hugh Jackman is going to be in Doomsday, and people believe us? But do you think, and along the lines of that, or this story anyway, do you think Gal Gadot should come back, or should they recast Wonder Woman?
I mean, that's actually a tough one, because I honestly would like to see her return.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what actress out there could play Wonder Woman, and I'm struggling because I think Wonder Woman does have physical requirements.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot is not an Amazon by any stretch of the imagination, but she is very tall.
True.
And I thought she played the part well. and looked exactly like, not exactly like, but was just a good looking Wonder Woman on, on the big screen. I just don't know who else could even do that. I mean, physically, I don't. I'm thinking, maybe Gina Carano, but even her, she's not a great actress.
So what you're telling me is that metal bikini or metal bathing suit and red boots do it for you.
Maybe.
All right, sorry. That was a side. Yeah, but here's the thing. I do have to say to that. Like, did you know who Gal Gadot was before she played Wonder Woman?
No.
Yeah, like, so you don't like to sit there and say I can't think of an actress who could fill the role. To me, that's a good thing. That means they got to find someone outside the box, someone who's an unknown.
But do you agree they need to
tall,
get someone that's tall, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, tall, and to me, thick. Like, just, she is. I mean, I'm telling you, not like that. I'm saying, Wonder Woman is a freaking Amazon warrior. Like, she's
your
stacked,
dirty mind.
You have the dirty mind, not me.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to necessarily say thick. I would say like muscular. Because that was one of the big criticisms of Gadot when she was initially cast, and even still in some of the movies, is that she was too skinny. Like, she wasn't beefy enough.
I don't disagree with that, but I think she pulled it off. I think it was enough in the margins.
And I also kind of think you have to go, well, she's a demigod, so like, does she have to look muscular to be strong? Like, that's this weird thing that we put on, these heroes now that I don't think, go back to the 50s when George Reeves played Superman on TV. Like, he wasn't a big muscular guy, and no one said, oh, he doesn't look like Superman, because they didn't draw him as a big muscular, like, they drew him as like regular guy. Like, that's something that developed over the ages, which also then brings up questions about the homoeroticism of comic books, but we won't get into that tonight.
Right.
But like, they started drawing them muscular. Like, in fact, the idea was they drew a muscular body and then drew the details of the clothes on top of that. So like, that's why everything, it looks skin tight, when they started doing the art that way. So there's this like expectation that like the superheroes are all going to look strong. But like, I've always said that, at least about Superman, like, does he really have to be muscular to believe that he's strong? He's an alien from another planet who's getting powers from the sun. He doesn't necessarily have to be this huge, bulky guy. Like, he's an alien with superpowers. Like, in fact, I think it's more like, oh my goodness, when you see a regular looking guy lift a car over his head, it's like, oh, wow. Yeah, no, that is fun. Like, because they've done that with Colossus. It's the same shit. Like, Colossus doesn't need to be muscular. He's still super fucking strong and nearly indestructible. Doesn't have to breathe and all the blah 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 blah. So I've seen him in the comics where like he like let himself go, but yeah, he's still fucking Colossus. He can still bust out his skin and throw shit, boulders, and lift 100 tons. Right, because we can watch a Terminator movie, and because it's a machine, we can believe, oh yeah, he's super strong. Like, forget Arnold, the other Terminators. He's the only one that ever was like shown as like big and muscular, but underneath it was just a metal skeleton. The muscles weren't real. It was just fake flesh on the outside to look like a human being. So they don't need to be beefy, but how do you, but my other question, my more important question, how do we get our podcast to the point where people just believe what we say and take it as gospel?
Publicly and virally get something right that nobody else said what happened, and say, "Oh, it was from our sources." We're not going to tell you our sources, but that's what our source told us. And so the next time we say, "Hey, remember that source that helped us get that thing right?" Well,
that's
and
true.
Be more clickbaity. You got to be more clickbaity. Like, this video, what the Schwartz Awakens. It should be like, all the Schwartz Awakens, and the script is so woke. Then people will click on it.
You know what?
Which we'll talk about. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, we just got to get one thing right because of our anonymous sources. I think, that'll work. Not Zegler, but the girl who was Mary Marvel in Shazam.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know who that is, but I have seen pictures of her, and I agree would be nice visually. I don't know the acting chops, but.
All right. We got one vote. We got 2 votes for Mary Marvel. In fact, that is going to be the new Wonder Woman in the DCU. The actress.
Yeah, hold on one sec. Yeah. My source is saying exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So you heard it here first, folks.
My source.
That is who is going to be Wonder Woman in the DCU. All right. Let's take a moment.
Wait, my source says that the Robert Downey Jr. Doom will be a Skrull. That's what my source said. Lock it in. It's totally plausible, actually.
Could you imagine they go through all of this and at the end it's a Skrull?
Yep.
Oh my God.
See,
right.
That's how we do it, Dave. If that comes true, we got to come back to this and we got to blast what I said.
If you are a Gen X nerd, you got excited about what was announced on the internets the other day. And if you live under a rock, you might not have seen the announcement. So we're going to take a quick little break here, and we're going to play a little video for you. It's a minute and 42 seconds long, so bear with us, but it's worth it.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie. May the Schwartz be with you.
Oh, you gotta love Mel Brooks. Oh my God. I'm your film sequel who was a prequel and was a cameo in your movie.
He's referencing when Darth Helmet, and
yes.
I'm trying to remember what's the protagonist's name again?
Lone Star.
Lone Star.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was he? I'm your brother's sister's cousin, whatever.
Cousin's former roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely
nothing. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So it's funny because I want to say something off the bat, right? Like this is everyone I know that's in my generation is excited about this. And there's a reason for this. So the original movie came out in 1987. And what people don't realize is that we got Return of the Jedi in 83, and then that was it. Like,
Yeah.
there was what, Ewoks and the Droids cartoon, and it wasn't the same, and that stuff did not take off. So then we got this, and it was like a lot of the people who were younger when the first Star Wars came out, now they were a little older, they're teens and young adults, and it was like, here's a sarcastic a satire look at Star Wars, a satirical, that's the word I was looking for, look at Star Wars, and it was like, oh, this is great. So Thrawn said Lewis Pullman Sentry is in it as Lone Star's son. Is he really?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything
Yep.
about who's in the movie yet. I did hear one person, and I'm sure you're
Yeah.
going to want to talk about that. So yeah, that's why I think our generation's excited for this, because there have been rumors for a long time that they were going to make a sequel to it, and then unfortunately John Candy passed away. And then what's her face played the robot,
Joan
Rivers. We've lost Joan Rivers, so it got harder and harder to make a sequel. But then Star Wars went, oh well, look, we're making a sequel that takes decades after the original, so I'm sure Mel Brooks was like, hey, I can do that. So yeah. What did you're the one who sent me I had already seen it, but you had sent me the video. So I assume you're excited, but you tell me, what do you think?
Honestly, this wasn't on my radar at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not excited for Spaceballs 2 just because it's Spaceballs 2. Because one of my favorite comedies ever, besides Spaceballs, is Coming to America.
Okay.
And they have, of course, Coming to America 2. And I've never seen it because everyone I've talked to that has seen it says it's terrible. And I want nothing to besmirch the original Coming to America.
Okay.
It's kind of the same way I felt about The Crow, and we see what happened there. So with Spaceballs 2, I'd be like, I don't really, it would be the same thing. I don't want to, this is going to be terrible. I don't want to see it because I don't want to ruin the first one. But this isn't like the rest of those. This is still Mel Brooks.
Right.
So with that, I'm excited because he's a 90-year-old man. He doesn't give a shit. So I want all the most crude, dumb, stupid shit humor to go on in this movie. And I believe he's going to deliver. I hope it's just as dumb as all his other shit because I'm going to love it. So, and the cherry on top, because, okay, Mel Brooks actually doing it is okay, cool. No, this is good. It's not some other person trying to carry on this legacy. It's the actual motherfucker. So, okay, great. I trust in Mel Brooks. What's a bad Mel Brooks movie that's not funny as fuck? But the cherry on top is Rick Moranis returning to acting to reprise the helmet role. And Rick Moranis is somebody that I will say it right now. Rick Moranis is the most respectable Hollywood actor that is, in my eyes, but that's not going to get the click. So Dave, make sure Rick Moranis is the most respectable actor in the history of Hollywood. The reason why I think this is because how big was he? The first Ghostbusters, Spaceballs, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Okay, but somewhere along the line, unfortunately, his wife dies, and so he just fucking quits acting just to be a dad, and never returns until it's time to be Dark Helmet once again.
You know, and it's funny, right? Because a lot of people wanted him to come back when they, you know, you can't say reboot it. They brought Ghostbusters, like they did a sequel, you know, so many years later. And, you know, a lot of the actors came back and he didn't for that. And like, that was, I don't know if you can necessarily say that's the role that made him, because he was big in SCTV. He was, he was in Little Shop of Horrors before that, but like
Little Shop of Horrors, right? Yep.
But that might be, but Spaceballs and Ghostbusters are probably, Ghostbusters is probably the biggest movie he was in, and then Spaceballs is, you know, I mean, a lot of people say it's a cult classic, so I don't know how well it did originally, but that's the thing. It's like, yeah, that's what he decided to come back with, and I have to kind of say that my instinct is telling me it's because Mel Brooks is doing it, right?
Sure.
Like the thought of coming back and working with him is probably what drew him in. Now, that being said, there is one thing I have heard from people. I haven't watched it, but History of the World Part 2, which was on Hulu, it wasn't a movie in the theaters, I heard isn't as good as the original, that it has some of the, for lack of a better term, wokeness crept into it. And I don't know how true it is because I didn't watch it, and maybe I should watch it. But I also kind of think it was done on Hulu, and I guarantee they had some say in, like, you can't do this, you can't do that, kind of thing, where now he's making, this is, I think, MGM, and he's doing the movie, so, and it's going to be in theaters. Obviously, you saw at the end, in theaters only. I kind of feel like he did that on purpose. Like, I'm making this movie, and I'm not going to have the network tell me what I can and can't do. So this is a man who gave us Blazing Saddles.
I knew you were going to reference that.
And that is a movie you could not make today. I'm sorry.
Which, you saying that is really kind of pathetic, because what I mean by that is, although it says the N-word a lot, the whole movie is about how these two guys, one's a white dude, one's a black dude. The black dude is getting treated horribly by everyone around, but the truth is clear. These fucking people are depending on him, and they are very stupid. And so him and his partner, the whole movie just making fun of these dumb motherfuckers. It's just, so people would call it racist, but it's really quite the opposite. It's really pointing out the ignorance of racism. The fact that it couldn't be made today is stupid.
When millennials had found them, they always do that, you know, where it's like all of a sudden some video is made online of some young person, millennial or zennial or whatever, watching a movie like this and being like, oh my God, it's so terrible. And of course, then that starts the online campaign of, oh, we've got to cancel Mel Brooks. You're not going to cancel Mel Brooks.
No.
But he did.
God will cancel him before any other entity.
But he did come out and address it. And he said that, like, the idea behind something like Blazing Saddles is it's addressing racism. It's not racist. What it's doing is it's taking the idea of racism and mocking that and showing you how stupid it is through humor. That's how you bring something like that down. This idea that, like, we can't make fun of it, we can't say this, we can't say that, just all that does is separate us more and make things worse. And that's like what he said. And it's like, well, duh, that makes sense. Like that's what we used to do. Like we would use humor to diffuse things and say, and look at it and say how ridiculous this idea of hating someone based on the color of their skin is. And yet, and that's the thing, like, again, this is the generations who grew up watching that movie are some of the least racist people you'll ever meet. And yet, for some reason, today it's like, oh, no, you can't do that. Like, nah, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want him to go balls to the wall. I want a lesbian space witch joke, or what if they actually have like the porn version of lesbian space witches, because the first Spaceballs, he had those two girls in his bed and stuff. Like it would do racy shit. So I don't want them to get away from like the original humor of it.
Wow, I didn't even think of it that way. And I'm trying to remember, there's someone fairly famous. It's like one of their first movies. Shoot, I can't think of who it is. But yeah, I mean, I did hear he is going to reprise the role of Yogurt. He hasn't said,
oh, of course,
if he's going to play anyone else in the movie, because remember he was also the
President Scrooge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think they're going to do with Barf?
Well, from what I've seen, and of course,
what if they go full blown CGI with Barf?
There you go. There is a rumor that Josh Gad is rumored to be cast as.
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's he's the voice of Olaf in Frozen. And
oh, okay, I know. He's in the live action Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yes. He's the Gaston's like lackey or whatever.
Okay. Thronkill, I don't agree with you. Thronkill says if Josh Gad plays Barf's son, I'm out. That guy's not funny. I don't know. I'm seeing it.
I'd have to see it. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what I've seen him in, those two Disney movies. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Can he be funny?
Okay. I'm gonna put this out there. And speaking of canceled, I guess the thing that would throw me off with him is he is somewhat effeminate in my eyes. And I think Barf is more of a buddy. I don't know. I think of Barf, I think like my dog Odin. Like we're two dudes. So
yeah.
I don't know. But maybe hey, he's an actor, so I think it could work. But I don't want an effeminate Barf though. I don't want Lone Star's buddy. Like the Chewie of the Spaceballs universe, man.
Yeah. So, all right. So we know, I believe this was from Deadline. Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, and Keke Palmer. Well, Pullman is coming back. Keke Palmer is apparently cast in the movie, and what's his name? The guy who played Lewis Pullman from Thunderbolts is coming back as Lone Star's son. So we're gonna have Lone Star and his son in the movie. Rick Moranis is Dark Helmet, and I don't know who. They don't say who Keke Palmer's playing. So, interesting. So that's who is confirmed so far in the cast, and of course Mel Brooks.
But just think of, as much as some may describe me as a Star Wars shill, I'm really looking forward to them making fun of all the goofy shit, that we've all and you all have made fun of. Somehow Palpatine return. Somehow President Scrooge returns. And,
no, they're gonna do somehow Dark Helmet returned.
Yeah, absolutely, because they all blew up in the Mega Maid. So,
Right, and that would,
no, they landed
and
on the
that
Planet of
but-
the Apes.
and that works on so many levels because you have Rick Moranis returning to acting.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
they got to come back from the Planet of the Apes somehow. But
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, the Star Wars franchise has given Mel Brooks so much material to work from for what's going to probably be an hour and a half movie because he doesn't make big epics.
yeah,
So yeah,
no, don't go looking for like awesome writing per se, awesome comedy writing. But no, this should be hour and a half, equivalent of fart jokes, man.
yeah.
They got so much stuff to, and they're one of the originators of breaking the fourth wall. That Spaceballs, they broke the fourth wall like a motherfucker.
Yes. Oh, one of the best is when they're
looking back as the movie being made, and they're
no, it was like
they fast forward the movie
with modern technology so fast that we have the VHS of the movie before it comes out, and they get to the scene that they're at in the movie. Oh my god, that is like one of the best scenes of all time.
You can't get better than that.
Spaceballs.
They jam their radar, and then and the strawberry jam starts coming off the screen. Oh, hey, is that guy from Beverly Hills Cop, the sound guy? Is he still alive? I hope he's in here.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Oh man,
I want to see him. I want to see him do some dumb shit.
Who's the actor when they're combing the desert?
Oh yeah, I recently read something about them because that's like the most famous thing he's ever done. I can't read. Yeah, I can't read. He is kind of.
No, that's okay. Michael Winslow's the sound guy, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. And oh yeah, they're gonna try. I mean, I guarantee he's gonna try to get back as many people who are up for it and want to do it, even if it's just I lost the sweeps and creeps. Oh my god,
so great.
Merchandising, where the real money of the movie's made.
Like, okay, like here's how great Mel Brooks is.
That's who it is. That's who. Yeah, Phil Lamar. That's who it is. That's yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's like I think he's done some other shit, but like only one cares about is we ain't found shit. But so Mel Brooks, as the character of Yogurt in the original Spaceballs, has Spaceballs the flamethrower.
Yes.
Right? Like, and did you know that Elon Musk had Tesla make flamethrowers, 10,000 of them? Yeah. It's like, so like that's crazy prophetic commentary. I don't know. That's just, I don't know. I wasn't sitting here waiting for Spaceballs, but now that it's here and we got Mel Brooks, Rick Moore, like I don't know. They're going to do it right. And it's going to be funny.
And here's the thing. And I think Mel Brooks is good at this. And I'm pretty sure he'll continue in this vein. He's fairly good at not going for the obvious topical humor, right?
Yeah.
Like bringing back President Scrooge, but making him a caricature of Donald Trump. Like, yeah, would people?
Oh, laugh? That's happening. That's happening.
I'm saying I think people would laugh at it in
funny.
The moment, but it doesn't. That kind of humor doesn't age well, unless it's like you find a way to make it universal. But yeah, I kind of feel like that kind of stuff they try to avoid, because like the president in the first movie is not a caricature of any,
right.
actual living person,
But even think if they did, right? Like how bad that does age. Like, all the times, people made fun of Ronald Reagan. And I'm not here to say I like Ronald Reagan or I don't like Ronald Reagan, but ultimately you're talking about a guy that like, died of Alzheimer's. So like, yeah, if you're making fun of him, it's not going to age well. who knows what Trump or anyone else's ultimate fate will be.
Yeah.
He could go out. He could make him Biden. He could. President Scrooge could be some, I'm not going to go there. You just, yeah.
I
You don't
know
know
what
what
you were
it's-
gonna say. Yeah. No, that. So we'll see. I think, yeah, I'm excited for this. My only fear, let's be honest here, he's saying 2027 for it, which tells me he has an idea, probably doesn't have a finished script or budget or anything. And
He wrote that opening crawl. And he's like,
right.
That's fucking funny. Okay. Oh, and Rick Moranis will come back. Okay, let's start the machine.
He's 98 years old.
Okay, he is, but come on, man. That was a pretty coherent 98-year-old.
I'm not saying it. I mean, in fact, he looks damn good for 98 years old.
He's probably getting stem cells or that endochrome shit that I mentioned a couple. See, that's also
yeah, see, you heard it here.
Which fuck it. I mean, if you're gonna do it and make Spaceballs 2, then like, all right.
Yeah, I hope that's the thing. He's got to hang on for at least a couple more years. I don't
know. I get the impression that's going to happen.
Yeah,
he seems pretty spry to me.
Yeah, so this will be good. All right. Well, if you watching this after the fact, my Spidey is timed out. Which means we've been talking for over an hour. If you're excited for Spaceball 2s, let us know in those comments down below. And what do you kind of hope to see out of this movie? So, yeah. All right. Well, on that note, it's time. It is time to ask that question we ask every episode.
What did we learn on the show tonight?
All right. Or recommendations. So what do you got for us there, Don?
I learned that we're surrounded by assholes. That's what I learned. Recommendations. I don't know, man. Nothing going on. I haven't really watched nothing. No, I just been fucking with Magic cards.
So you're gonna recommend Magic?
Yeah, I recommend Magic the Gathering. That's right.
All right.
There you go. But I mean, what's the next big thing, right? Superman, right?
Yeah, that's not till next month. So, like, that was the whole thing. I kept thinking, oh, is it this weekend? Do we have to review it this weekend coming up? Do we have to review it on Sunday? And it's like, I looked and I'm like, no, they're both July, Fantastic Four and Superman, and they're like a week apart. So we know what our second half of July is going to be at this point. But yeah.
Hey man, though, for what it's worth, though, my kids are wanting to see both of those movies. So
there's a lot of people that are excited for both of those movies. I think they're going to do well. So
it'll be a good summer.
Yeah. What did I learn? I learned that a show can come up where we don't really have much to talk about and end up going over an hour. Yeah.
Takes talent.
And yeah. Talent, or we're full of a lot of hot air. One or the other. Oh, wait. Yeah, maybe. Train Your Dragon in my future.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I know that Karen's one son really wants to go see it. So she said, I'm going to probably have to take him at some point. And she said that we would go together. So we'll see. But yeah, recommendations. Yeah, I got nothing other than, the usual. If you've gotten this far in the show and you haven't done so yet, click that like button, hit that subscribe, click that bell for notifications so you don't miss us. We go live here on Wednesday and Sunday nights. Oh, but I guess I have to make that announcement. This Wednesday, we will not be here. I will be in New Hope, so that I can wake up there on Thursday, our shared birthday, and I will be spending it with my girlfriend. So I will not be here Wednesday night. And of course, Don will be off as well because his birthday is Thursday. And I'm sure you've got exciting plans for your birthday.
No, not at all. If something breaks, I'll be on. I'll put it that way. If something really lights my fire, I may just log on and do solo. But
okay. I don't think anything will be as big as Spaceballs 2 announcement.
no.
But we'll see. Unless they comes out, they confirm Hugh Jackman is in Doomsday or something, or a leaked set photo. Who knows? Yes, or one of our anonymous sources tells us something about the future of the MCU. You never know. You never know. So you have to stay tuned to this channel all the time because we got some good stuff coming. We got some good sources out there.
Every video, every short.
And there you go. Well, on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape get caught in the door. See you next week.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what are you waiting for? Visit our merch store. But before you click away, subscribe to our show today.